still handled and enforced by
Oh,
animal
yeah.
services, and they do write the citations that there can be a hearing and that sort of thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I
And
think
animal services, I mean, if animal services finds an animal in distress, they certainly have the capability under Florida statute to file what's called a custody petition. And with a custody petition, it's if somebody isn't taking proper care of their animal, that animal is in distress or danger, that the court, it would be county court, could enter an injunction that that person cannot possess animals until they're found fit to do so again. We do have the laws and mechanisms in place, and I have seen it happen both on the civil and the criminal end, where everyone works collaboratively to get just results.
Yeah, yeah. Well, that's good to know. It's interesting. I guess I didn't realize that there was the difference between the two counties. Now, you also wanted to talk about lost and found pets, and I was glad when I was at event that you were speaking at. I don't think you knew I was there. I was in the audience, and you mentioned when everybody was talking about the questions were what was in place in our county for hurricane preparedness, and
Right.
the chief talked from Animal Services, and Rick Yoakum talked from the Humane Society and assured everybody that they had their plans in place. And then you spoke and you mentioned my organization, and that was really nice, because we really want to help. And lost and found is a big deal. And finally, it seems like it's being really paid attention to, and people really do care, and that's really great.
Yeah, that's always what's all over my Facebook is always things with animals. But no, and I did not know you were at the event. And because of the issue that came up and how much I see your page, and I see it's, an animal's missing in this area, all the shares, and then it's a short amount of time. And I know I have, and friends of mine have also gone out, if it's in our area, to try to find that animal for that person.
Mm-hmm.
So that your page is generating that communication that we need for those good results of, instead of an animal just walking around and someone maybe looking around to try to find their own animals, they have an entire community at their disposal that will get up and try to find their animal. So when the hurricane hit, I always know Animal Services has their plan in place. Humane Society is great. They do their thing too. And people can become displaced from their pets during a natural disaster like a hurricane. Is that was on my mind, is that your page was there should that happen, had we been hit with that hurricane. That would have been the page I would have been looking at, of where do we find these animals and reunite the animals with the pets. Or the people with their pets.
Yep, when Irma came a couple of years ago, we thankfully didn't get hit as hard as they expected, but still we had a lot of lost pets. And it started actually several days before the hurricane was even supposed to hit. The animals just sense it, and they all start acting weird and running away. And I think maybe because they sense the anxiety of their owners, who may be packing up and getting ready. And so just like any other pets that seem to disappear when people are moving, they were disappearing right before the hurricane. So we had our one little, our run through of getting ready. And so we were really ready for the next one. And I hope we don't have to do it again. That's for sure.
No, yeah, I certainly hope there isn't another hurricane, because the animals do react. They're fight or flight, and when they're sensing danger, their first instinct is they want to be with their owner, but they also want their own safety. So they are going to react differently to a threat than we are. And animals do run off when they sense a threat. So it's important. I hope other communities have a page. I haven't checked lately, but I know you have a very big following. And as soon as you put an animal up or some issue up, you have a very large portion of our community following it and helping out and lending a hand.
Yeah.
And
we just had a dog.
I certainly have gotten involved in a few things that I saw on your page. both
Yeah.
as a prosecutor and a private attorney.
Yeah, yeah, you did help. You've helped me out before too, so that's always appreciated. Let's talk a little bit about how we really care about um, our shelter dogs and adoption versus shopping. One of the things that we don't have a lot more time left, but one of the things is this. Is it Petland or whatever that people don't want it. They want to we want our shelter dogs adopted, and it's important that people get out there to our shelters and adopt our pets.
Um, it is very important. Is once a year, and there's other events too, but I know once a year we have the Adopt-A-Palooza, where it's a massive undertaking and a very big event to try to get the rescues and especially the shelter dogs adopted. Those are the most at-risk animals that we have, is in the animal shelters. So it's always, and I've always tried for the last 8 to 10 years, whatever it is try to encourage people as much as I can. Whatever animal you're looking for, if you're partial to German Shepherds, is you can find it at a rescue or you can find it at a shelter. And if you don't have a particular breed in mind, you can find whatever you're looking for once you go into the shelter or a rescue. You'll just bond with that animal and you'll know that that's the one you should bring home. And as for Petland, Sarasota did pass the ordinance that retail pet sales is banned, and that is in place now. That's coming up on Manatee County's agenda, and I think I may have said a few words about that at the event at Manatee Tiger Bay. Is Petland is the only pet store in our area that sells puppies, and those puppies are at a very high price. They're often sick. They're very expensive. They're coming from out of state, and they're bred for the purpose of providing merchandise to Petland. So my position on it is that Petland can easily change their model to other pet stores that are similar, that do not sell puppies, and still be a profitable business.
Yeah, I know there's a big meeting coming up on Halloween, I think is the next one. So that I hope, things work out, because our shelters are overflowing, and it is October. I think when we air, we may be right at the end of October or the 1st of November, but we are speaking now during October, and it is Adopt a Shelter Pet Month. So we want people to take advantage of that and get out there and, take a look at those beautiful dogs. There's so many of them that need good homes.
Yeah, and you've seen them, and I've been out to the shelter several times in different rescues. Those animals are just dying for a good home. And I've rescued animals from shelters, and every one I've had, they seem to, at least I believe, have a very good memory that you took them from a place and gave them a loving home. They're forever grateful and forever loyal. And unfortunately, the pet population is larger than where we can find homes. The shelter is always over capacity or at capacity, and the more that we can generate and encourage people to adopt animals, just spay and neuter your pet to keep the population down, that's when we'll get to a point where there's the correct balance of animals in loving homes and not having to live their lives in cages and shelters.
Yeah. Well, Lisa, we've only got 2 minutes left. So is there anything that we haven't mentioned that you wanted to add?
No. Call your county commissioners about the retail pet ban. Spay, neuter your pet, and adopt, don't shop. And if you suspect animal abuse, cruelty, and neglect, call law enforcement. That's
right. Well, I really appreciate you being here today, and I appreciate the help you've given me in the past. And I hope I won't have to reach out to you too many times. But it's good to know you're there if I do.
Well, thanks for having me. You know where to find me if you need me.
Yeah. All right. So, again, everybody, this was Lisa Chittaro from the Law Office of Lisa Chittaro here in Sarasota County, and she's really excellent, with animal abuse, neglect, cruelty, theft. She cares so much about the animals in our community, and, her work shows that she does. So we appreciate that you were here with us today. And now it's time to say goodbye. So until next time, everyone, remember that a lost pet can't tell anyone where it lives. So please be sure your pet is microchipped and wearing its ID tags. And if it is microchipped, be sure that microchip is registered and its information is up to date. I'm your host, Patty Giarrusso, and this has been Let's Talk Pets on Society Bites Radio. Thanks for joining us today. And until next time, take care and keep your pets safe.